And a very good evening to everyone on a Wednesday night. Thank you for joining in again on DeFi Singapore's YouTube channel. And as with every Wednesday, we always try to get some projects that's available to you guys and viewing in. Thank you for joining in. And without further ado, I just want to introduce my co-host for tonight, Adele. Welcome, Adele.
Hey,
Yes.
Leslie.
Hi. Yeah, so I remember we were talking about NFTs way long back ago, right? So and I remember back then, and when especially with Dunstan and Steve back then, we were talking about a little bit on NFTs. So when NFTs got really popular back then, even up to now, right? Obviously, we had the opportunity to interview a Dubai artist. I don't know if you remember Amrita, right?
Can never
So
forget.
yeah, and so and you did an interview with her. I remember it was just the two power women, doing it together. So that was quite awesome. So if you guys are joining in for the first time, do remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Do let your friends know that we are bringing this very interesting artist, Singaporean artist, for today. So are you excited, Adele?
I'm super excited. And I'm also, Leslie, super excited about the direction that we have been going towards. Like when we started talking about NFTs, you were showing me Stickman. And we were at back then, before we introduce our guest, right? I just want to thank also our viewers who've been with us from day one, putting up with our like copy talk. And a lot of it was just us like just amongst friends, just like. But now I am glad that we are being able to invite some really great projects, artists to introduce to our community. So if you guys have any suggestions, anybody that you know of who you think would be a good fit community, we also want to hear from you guys. So leave a comment on any of our socials or our Discord. And Leslie loves doing that. Leslie loves feedback. So go and spam him with the feedback.
Yeah, I mean the community crypto is all about being inclusive and getting the community to come in, and we were talking about how the industry has gotten this new blood of influx of people coming in, right? Basically, and we talked about the convergence as well, right? Having these people to come in, so people who are non-crypto and they started dabbling, and NFTs kind of made created a bridge as a result. And then you have artists that's joining in as a result and things like that. So
it's quite worrying for me when people jump into the NFT space without like crypto background. Oh, now it sounds very old. But that's what I'm helping you. So let's share I took classes from Leslie. That's how I got my basic crypto 101. And I think that if you want to go into NFTs, please study crypto. Join a class first. Don't lose your stuff. Don't lose your wallet.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Hosen also did the same thing. They all started with the basic master class first before they come in. I think that's enough from hearing the both of us. I think the viewers are bored with us already.
Yes, we're starting actually a local project series. So last week we also had a local project. Today we are so proud to also speak to local artists and then turn local NFT project. You want to bring our guest on?
Yes, let's welcome Patrick and Lilly. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Where are you guys calling us from, man?
We're in Australia right now, Sydney. Somewhere near Blue Mountain.
Enjoying the cold air. It's awesome. And so for our viewers, please let them know that whether you are Australians or Singaporeans, because we said support local projects. Yeah.
We are full 100% Singaporean.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for being on the show. Yeah. So just wanted to find out from you guys. We are we know each other for a while. But we also very surprised, to know that you guys also went into the NFT space, because I kind of known that Patrick has been a Singaporean artist for a long time as well. right? So what made you thought of being even starting on a crypto journey on an NFT space in the first place? Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically I've been doing fine arts and all the different medium for a while. So, but crypto is something that I think sooner or later we have to get in there. It's where sooner or later because that's where the space is going to be, and then also at the same time because my art form I love to combine with things like traditional and tech, uh, um, using digital and paper and paintings to combine things. So when it comes to this NFT, same thing because it's from the digital side, but yet at the same time I love to use traditional to combine. Yeah. So, but the art form may not have to be in this way, but that's how I was going to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it was pretty much a quite a natural progression actually because Patrick has been a fine artist for like 4 years, right?
Mm.
And he started off his series was actually digital hyperrealism. Yeah. So with digital hyperrealism, essentially he does hyperrealism on an iPad, so it's completely digital, and he always combine and all his artworks are actually AR enabled as well. So we do have
Right.
AR enabled. Yeah.
Yeah. Augmented reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so essentially, he is already, other than doing traditional art, he's already pretty digital in a sense. So if we have
Mm.
a gallery over at Millennial Walk, so if you pop by there, you can actually see how the art all comes alive, with an augmented reality app. Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. Adele, you are a media artist yourself. When you talk to artists, or rather artists, not artists. So I have to correct myself. Artists, fundamental artists like Patrick, who's very old school in a way, quote unquote, but using digitized form of drawing up the hyper realism art. What's your comment on this? Because I know you know a lot of artists as well in a space.
I actually think that because Patrick has worked so much in the digital space, correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, do you feel that because um, a lot of your work is on the digital space, it was easier for you to accept or wrap your head around this blockchain as a distribution model for your art versus somebody who only works on like physical fine art
Mm,
pieces?
mm,
Yes, definitely. I think that's one of the reason because even for years I've been doing in advertising as well. So that's why digital is quite a native to me. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
What do your
And one
friends
other
say?
mm,
Oh, sorry, Lily, go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, and the other reason I think why we stepped into this space as well was I think really the vision, of Patrick, as in that when he first embarked to become a full-time artist, is really to bring love, joy, and hope into spaces.
Mm,
Yeah, so that is really about physical spaces. But I think subsequently we felt that, hey, with that same vision, we want it to go into physical spaces as well as metaverses as well. Yeah,
right.
and I think NFT opens a new world, in a way, for a community, to rally behind an artist. So I think in the previous, I would say like art markets and all that, you will realize that many a times, like, artists, they will have patrons, that will
Mm,
support them, will buy all their work, and it's always like a one piece thing, right? Yeah,
right.
but I think this space just kind of, it's like micropayments, right, in crypto.
Yeah.
It's like you allow many, many people, who believes in him now, to come together, and then we
Mm,
can actually grow this community over time. It's not something that is like a quick flip project, but something that
mhm,
go together with artists. And like one day, it's just like when he first started 4 years ago, I think one of his hyper realism art, say a limited edition copy was like $1,500, but 4 years later now it's like 3,005, and his original art pieces are like selling at 26,000. So we see a similar journey that could be done in the NFT space, where people who believe that okay, Patrick has all these different kind of art form and he's developing himself, that if they rally behind him, come with him, that community can be rewarded, in this artist
nice.
space as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So that opens a really like different kind of approach, to the art world and to for artists as well. Yeah.
So
What do your
just
friends say, Patrick? Just out of curiosity, your mutual friends who are in the industry, who are drawing and in the digital art space. Have you been an inspiration to them, or was it like, oh, Patrick, we shouldn't be doing this? Because Adele and myself, we encountered this, like, when we tried to dabble into crypto, right? And we're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of resistance, right? For that matter. How has it
mm,
been for you? I mean, like your fellow artists, that you know in the space, are they also dabbling in NFTs as well?
Actually, too
Not
extreme.
really, yeah.
It's almost quite too extreme. Those that really excited about it, they are trying to get in, and they are thinking of how to get in, and working their works towards that direction. But there's also
Okay.
another group which is traditional. They say, I'm traditional, I don't know how to use this, and to them, NFT is something that is not in the short season right now. They will never
Okay.
even think about it. Yeah, it's all about physical art. It's all about I think they cannot grasp the idea about an NFT versus a JPEG file. I think
Ah.
that's the biggest issue with most people.
Yes.
They cannot grasp that
Okay.
part where where one is you can actually own because of the smart contract, and one is just owning a JPEG file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the same I had the same issue. So I totally now of course I've completely come around. And I'm sure actually from the sound of it that Patrick and Lily, you guys actually saw the pivot was not so big for you guys. So just very quickly for the uninitiated, I was checking to see if there were any questions. Not yet. To our viewers, feel free to ask Patrick and Lily any questions that you might have. But for the uninitiated, we talk a lot about crypto, about blockchain here on the show. But we have you guys as artists. Can you compare on the fine art side? Traditionally, when an artist produces a work, let's say your work that was 3,005 and has now appreciated to 26,000, how does that traditional appreciation happen? What are the reasons for the appreciation? And then compare that to in the NFT space, how does the NFT appreciate? And we know it can appreciate in like 5 minutes. You can like mint 0.01 and then 10 minutes later it's like 1 ether, right?
She's still very bitter about the stickman when we first showed her, and that's an art piece. Yeah.
Adele, I hope you didn't miss your crypto punks then. I think that one will be like heartache.
Yeah, she didn't know about it, so we didn't know about it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think
please
that
explain to us the appreciation model.
yeah, I think that basically, right, I would say that um put it the traditional art market, right, the appreciation, and going into the NFT like crypto market, if you ask me, actually, okay, the process is the same, okay, but the difference, right, okay, is the acceleration, okay,
Mm,
and the reach, okay. So what do I mean by that? So for example, just try and imagine, right, like in the past, like a traditional artist, right, it may take you like 30 years before you're discovered, by some collectors, right? And then after that, like, after you pass on, right? Okay, then your art is worth a lot of money. I mean, it's really sad, right? And then all
My
the
favorite,
benefits. Sorry.
like my
Coach,
favorite Van Gogh, right? Like he was only famous after post.
Yeah, and that's like really sad because it makes a lot of artists like hesitate, to really take this on, even though they're passionate about it, because all they see are poor artists, right, that gets famous, and then it makes all the options of really really rich after they pass on, right? So I think what has happened with crypto, with NFT, right, okay, is that it creates a new playing field, but the fundamentals basically of marketing an artist, the fundamentals of connecting with collectors, our audience doesn't change, right? The
mm,
difference is that the medium is different, and the fundamentals of creating a solid piece of art, it shouldn't change either. I think was it Picasso, right? It was somebody was just saying that, like, if you want your art to sell, right, don't do your art in one day and then try to sell it. You should do your art in 1 year, and then the next day you should just sell it. So you just still have to focus really, on value and quality. It doesn't mean like I think right now what we're seeing in the space is that there's just lots of all kinds of art, right? Yeah. But I think slowly as the hype like kind of tapers off, I mean the market will still be there, but people will become more and more discerning,
I
as they
like
pick
I
up.
like I
Mm,
like the fact that you mentioned that it takes 1 year to do an art piece. Remember, people people take 5 years just to generate that whole
right.
entire piece. With
Yes.
how many 5,000
Yeah.
art pieces that he did, or pictures that he took, right?
Yes.
And he
Yes.
sold for them. But people don't see that hard work. They only see that, oh, he sold for $69 million.
Yes.
Oh, and the NFTs, like, oh wow. And they don't realize how long it takes for an artist to actually get number one, of course, be
Yes.
inspired, right, to draw
Yeah.
a certain series that you guys want to. Obviously, I'm disturbing your rest and relax in Australia at this point of time because Patrick's trying to get that inspiration, right? breathing in the cold air of Australia and trying to get that, inspiration for the next series for next year, things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, people
Yeah.
need to understand that, that's the creative process that comes about. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that. I like that, actually, to be honest. Yeah, so if you would say someone, for a young artist, for example, what were the challenges that you guys faced when you guys decided to switch from one medium to this new medium of distribution that you just mentioned, which is crypto, obviously. Yeah. What
I
was the
think
challenges that you guys faced?
I think for us, in terms of creation, there isn't much of differences because the medium is we are switching. For me, it's because I'm already digital native, so
Yeah.
that is not an issue. I think the biggest challenge is about building community.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
building
Crypto
community in
is
the digital space.
community. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Because we all know,
Okay.
right? In this space, Twitter and the Discord is a key platform. But then in Twitter, we in Singapore hardly we use Twitter.
True.
Yeah,
It's a culture
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
The bird doesn't really come to land on Singapore, so we hardly use that.
Maybe that's a new inspiration for you, bro. Let's say that you should just show that the bird doesn't come to Singapore. Just
Yes, yes, yes.
migrate
The last two
to-
the last the last 2 days at Blue Mountain, every morning he's sitting on the porch, right? And he'll be visited by two birds every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Inspiration for you, bro. Yeah. Quite
This
funny.
afternoon,
Yes.
four gigantic parrots was just in front of me. Yeah. But
It's
but
true.
but that's the truth, is it? Because we all know to start it in social media, if you are not an early adopter, the sign up rate, the following rate will always a lot more difficult. So that's I think that's one of the most challenging paths to build up your following, and of course Discord as well, because relearn the whole entire new platform how to use Discord, because it's not just like a WhatsApp, you press button and then you send it to someone. It's not about that.
Was creating the NFTs difficult for you guys?
The art is not issue, but it's the programming part that you need to get a programmer to upload.
Okay, you guys went a bit far ahead because you guys didn't use OpenSea for that matter. So it was
Yeah.
more towards the front end that you guys did.
So I'm
Yes,
very
Adele, yeah.
curious. I'm so curious about. I get that in terms of creating the art, the process is 大同小 is very similar, right? Because you do digital art as well, but to embark on adopting like tech, how was that process? Was it very intuitive to the both of you? I guess you have, because of your digital marketing agency, is that why you have access to? How was that process like?
Yeah, so it was quite interesting. I think definitely from a marketing, a branding, advertising perspective, because I've been running an agency for 20 years, so building websites and things like that. So natively, we already do have some knowledge over there. Yeah, but
Okay.
I think it still needed a lot of, I think for us, because we're believers, right? Really, like God provided, different people that came our way, and we had a really, really, really good like dev, this guy that was so good that I think literally I can say he dropped from heaven to us. And of course, like
Not tweeted across like a word that comes to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think in the process, basically building a website wasn't a problem. Trying to understand how to do this. Of course, we explore as an artist. Like, I mean, one option was to list our works in Super Rare or list our work somewhere else. Like in OpenSea, and you try to sell them and you promote them. That's one way of doing it. Another way was like kind of to just experiment. So I think basically for us, we always like to try and experiment, like new ideas and new concepts. So we thought that what if we launch more his illustrative style art, which our community hasn't really seen that, and then try to rally like a membership, kind of thing,
Right.
around an artist. Yeah. So we thought that maybe we could try that formula. And we know that we did deliberately price it a little bit higher because, I mean, higher as in that, not like 0.05, 0.08, because we wanted people to recognize the value and for them to do research to find out what they're buying, So
Okay.
we were trying to encourage like education in that sense. Yeah. So
Mm.
even though, so we were not all out to say like, oh, we want to get a full sellout, and stuff like that. That's not really something that we were after, but we wanted to try new things. As we step into new space, what we've learned as well, for example, is I think it's really fun because you don't know until you step in. really.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think one of the things we didn't know was like, building this Discord community. People tell you like, oh, you can just build a Discord, it's very easy. But when we started, like, kind of like, of course we try to copy some people, right? Like, okay, let's do whitelist thing, let's try, and then suddenly one night we didn't know what happened, right? And the whitelist just like exploded, and then we had 7,000 people talking to us at the same time, and we were so stressed. I tell you, we're like, where did all these people come from? And I think this just opens our horizon to say like, wow, the world is so connected.
Correct.
Like
Correct.
it's so much more connected, this community, than what we expected. Yeah, and then from there, trying to figure out how do we connect with these people. How do we? What is it that's looking for? So this is like a totally different kind of demographic market. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting how you guys got so accelerated. When I try to describe this to a lot of people in terms of crypto is inclusive, crypto is supposed to help connect the world for the matter because of its peer-to-peer function. We can transact literally now, right? If you are in Australia, I'm in Singapore, I can send $100 across to you literally, right? Without even meeting face to face, or you just through a text message. People don't realize how fast crypto can do for them. They are saying that, oh no, Visa and MasterCard, but these are payment services providers where you can't do peer to peer for that on that note. And the fact that you mentioned about communities, it's actually all about the communities in crypto. Adele came from a background like in one of the many projects that she was exposed to, right? Communities were part of that as well. So and as a result, I mean, people don't realize that actually brings a new level of a business. That's number one, like what you mentioned in terms of distribution, for that matter. And there's a lot more that entails in terms of what like you say, the whitelisting. Suddenly you have 7,000 people coming to you, because what people don't realize is that you mean I could have been connected to these 7,000 people earlier, 6 years ago or 4 years ago when crypto was around, right? So people couldn't realize that notion, So it's like what I always teach in class. I'll say, your Bitcoin, your first Bitcoin has ever, the first value that has ever been transacted in the first place. Everyone knows this. It's not something new, right? The two pizzas that's being transacted for 10,000 Bitcoins itself back then. They just showed them how that actually happened. And I think we are at a pivoting point, to be honest, in crypto, especially for NFTs. Adele was very resistant in the beginning of the year, or even 1.5 years ago. She's like, because as a media, she's a trained artist as well, right? So to her, how can a stick man? We showed her this stick man, like
and he was very rude. The stick man was doing rude things.
Yeah.
He just like it.
Yeah, she was like evidently, it's like, no way this is gonna sell for like
0.3 ether, okay, for one stick man doing rude things.
0.3 ether was only $100 back then, because ether was at $300 when we talked about it. Right? So it's very different in terms. Is relative in terms of the amount. 1 ether is 1 ether. 0.3 ether is still 0.3 ether. Right? So in crypto terms, it's always that way. Yeah.
So I'm curious. So how much is the stick man worth today?
We don't know. We lost track. We didn't see the stick
track.
man. It was on OpenSea. We wanted to see it. I don't know if anyone was. We was just having fun.
I'll suggest Adele don't go see then.
I know, but like, I mean, whatever Leslie just mentioned about the the space crypto, I'm just gonna comment in our own YouTube chat. I just wanted to say what I'm hearing from our guest tonight is a lot of artist conviction. So we can talk about the tech, and the tech will keep growing. And today it's NFTs, tomorrow is, I don't know, TFM, I don't know, whatever it's going to come up. There will be, technology will keep giving us these tools and these distribution models. But I'm very proud to say that as a creator myself, what I'm hearing looking at this project is that we actually have creators here who came into the space with conviction. They were not like, okay, like, let's FOMO, they know what they're offering. They wanted to provide something of value. And then for them, it's just a pivot into the blockchain space. So I really like that about your project.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest block is here.
Oh, the block is here.
Yeah, the block is here. Really,
The
really.
mental block,
I
right?
guess, yeah, mental block, because a lot of time the technology, the uploading of files, we all know how to upload. Converting digital, we all know how to convert digital, right? So what stop everybody from doing it?
Patrick, you mentioned earlier about the fear, or rather not fear. The distinction between JPEG and NFTs, right? So you want to maybe help allay some fears, as to a fellow budding artist, for example, like, hey, I'm afraid that my IP will be stolen, for that matter. How do you actually, could you elaborate a little bit more on that process that you guys obviously has taken? Yeah.
Okay, so I think the big difference is that we all know that JPEG file can be downloaded to any phones, any computers, right? So, but that does not warrant you that you are the owner of it. In the past, why NFT couldn't take off, because there's no such blockchain technology, and there's no this thing called a smart contract, which changed the whole entire concept of what is NFT. So because of that, right, whatever that as a person that you go online and screen grab or download any images, that doesn't have any single value, because there's no proof of certification to who is the ownership. Yeah. So but because of this NFT, the smart contract, you can literally create a code and a direct to the ownership itself. So whoever got it, and this ownership will go straight to the buyer, and it will keep inside the ledger. So these are things where nobody can copy, nobody can take away from you anymore, and it's 100% 100% I would say open to people who they can track, they can see who is the original owner. I think that's the beauty of it. Yeah, that really truly protect the artist's IP. Yeah, that's truly protect. Although we think that online people can just take anywhere, but actually this is the best. In fact, it can be even protect better than some of the original art.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was such
can
a
I add on? Yeah.
Oh yes, Lily, please go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add on from a buyer's perspective. Okay, how I felt when I bought my first NFT. Like, how did I have to cross my mindset that it's a JPEG, right?
Wait. Can we know which NFT do you buy?
Yeah,
when
I was
you bought
gonna
your
ask.
first one? Do you buy your
man.
president's one, or do you buy somebody
Okay.
else's art first?
No, I bought somebody else's art. Yeah, I mean, I bought a
Patrick.
PFP project. Yeah. Not launched yet, Mahis. Yeah, so stepping into this space meant that I had to learn about the space, right? So I had to go mint some NFT, right? And obviously I am just a normal woman, which is purely emotional. I don't check on who the artist is or whatever. Just like, oh, so cute, and then I'll just go buy it, right? Go mint it. Yeah. And I think that the funny thing was that the first experience of minting one, right? And kind of waiting for the reveal, right? And then when the review came out, I was like so excited, the review. I was like, oh, I got this one, and then I want to check the trades, and everything. And then there was just this strange, I don't know why, psychologically, this sense that, oh, I own this now, When you download a JPEG, you don't have that. But you have this sense of like pride, like, oh, I own this now, Yeah, and then like I could like open up his OpenSea account, right? Because it was bought under his name, and then we're like tell people like, oh look, check out what I have here. I bought this, like so cute, right? And everybody's like looking at me because I bought it using his wallet, right? And then they were like, how come Patrick has such cute stuff?
You're not
Yeah, and Patrick's like, hey, you are like, then he's like, I want a Mecca, and I'm like, I didn't get the whitelist. Sorry, too late. The raffle draw, I didn't get it. He's like, I need some manly stuff inside there. So if you go check his wallet, it's like all cute stuff. That's my fault, my bad. But it's just the sense of, I think I use the word ownership. Really,
Yeah.
I have never heard someone express the way you expressed it. Even Adele is her facial expression is telling me that, when we buy an NFT, probably it's because maybe I'm too lao jiao already, I'm too old already in the space. Like it's just so, you know what I mean? I still cannot wrap my head around whenever Hosen tells me about, Leslie, you need to go with the what the new guys are doing, and like, yeah, okay, so but to me it's a token. I think I've been too used to it, right? Yeah, to me it's a token because
But you
it's
know, right?
just a token,
So,
right?
yeah,
I'm not
so fun,
disputing
Pink
the
right?
or
fact.
yellow is just a token. No difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
know, and
love the way you express
following
it.
my passion and my likes, right? So far, buying every single NFT, right? I have not lost a single cent, you know. Every one of them are
Wow.
appreciated. That yeah, just because I
Say,
haven't sold them, I only sold one only. But like that, the key is that I like them, you know. So I don't really
mm,
split, you know, and I just kind of like keep them in my wallet, and I feel happy looking at them, right? I'm so they're so cute, you know.
Don't
Yeah.
even even for myself, when the unveil, I was so, oh wow, we got this, oh nice. No, I mean, because to us we can create anytime, but it's just that something that you own somehow digitally, and
Yeah,
you
it's
know that
different. Yeah,
this smart contract
it's
belongs to
yours.
me.
Yeah, it's mine.
Wow, I
Yeah,
think the feeling is different.
yeah.
usually for my couples come to my class, I will usually tell them to, husbands remember, wives remember to take your husband's private keys. Just so Lily, you bought using his wallet, right? So yeah, remember you need to have some legacy planning, right? So yeah, make sure that you have access to those
Yes,
NFTs.
yes, yes.
You never know, right? Yeah. So but that's besides the point. Yeah.
Crypto education.
I'm
Adele, you have
amazed.
something to ask? Yes.
No, I'm just like these people are proper artists, proper NFT collectors. They're not degen, they're not flipping. They're
Yeah.
like so all the articles that talk about what is an NFT, why is the art space embracing NFTs. These are actually the people that they are talking
Yeah.
about. So they do exist. They're not like unicorns.
I mean, they are rare breed, to be
They're real
honest.
collectors. Yeah, real
Like,
collectors.
Yeah,
like we
the thing
interviewed
is,
Amrita, right? It took her 1 year to develop that whole entire series.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys actually watched
yeah,
the
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
YouTube.
yeah,
I mean, it's
Mm.
amazing for someone who can think out of the box to create art pieces using music, right?
yeah,
As she merged three different things coming together, and you guys are doing that because, like what Patrick has mentioned, is a natural progression. Basically
Mm.
for you to, if you're really doing something that's on a digital realism art on your iPad and on your devices, what more is it? How easy is it for it to actually go into ownership up on using the blockchain technology for the matter, right? So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
let's not keep people waiting anymore. Patrick and Lily has promised me that they're going to show something about how they do, in terms of how they go about getting inspired. They actually have a video. So this is the thing about artists. I love the fact that they take the extra mile. Artists like Patrick himself. That he take the time to show you how he creates the art. So without further ado, I think Lily, you want to share your screen and then.
Okay, we'll just share one video. Yeah,
Mm,
Mm.
let's just share one video.
Hosen agrees that the experience of minting and reveal is really fun.
yeah,
And someone else, Kristen Teo said, haha, the wifey owns the wallet. So,
yeah.
Can you guys see the video?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the physical resin art pieces.
Mm. Oh, look at the waterfall! My gosh, do you see, guys?
Yeah, so
It
this
look
is
real.
actually the AR effect. This is the artifact effect, the AR effect. So we call them living paintings or living art.
I love resin.
So this is the hyperrealism we're talking about. Yeah, on
Gorgeous.
digital. Yeah.
Very nice.
And he said since 3 years ago he's been doing VR painting. So this is actually on in the 3D. If you wear the goggles, you can actually immerse into the art. But we haven't really sold this yet. I mean, these are just more his own collections.
How long does it take for you to do something like that, man?
The VR art, is it?
Yeah.
Depend on complexity, right? Yeah.
recently I just did a live performance on
Our community, yeah.
VR. So that one will take about 30 minutes.
30 minutes for
To paint a scenario out.
A simple one, yeah.
A not so complex one.
Oh, awesome. Love it, man. Love it, man. Is that the end? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
right, ownership of this NFT art will give you, okay, cool. Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
those
maybe
are
you
just
can,
some of the utilities.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess maybe to help our viewers also understand, are there even any more NFTs that's available for on Metaverse? Metaverse, sorry. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah. So basically, in a way, we have combined kind of like two utilities function into this like membership. So one of it is really access to Patrick's physical art discounts, and and right now, essentially, Patrick's like artist name is actually called Bezalel, right? So
Mm,
Bezalel is actually a name in the Bible that says like he's skilled in all forms of workmanship, like all kinds of art.
nice.
So a lot of people have been finding it really hard to wrap around his art style because you really cannot wrap around his art style. So basically, he jumps from resin, oil, and that to hyper realism is digital, and then he goes to VR, right? And then after VR, right now, right, he's like looking at the digital space now, and he's going into digital sculpting, like one-on-one pieces in digital, and he's basically, and those are going to take quite a long time to do. Yeah, and as well as, maybe I'll just show you another video. This is another like quite crazy stuff that he did recently. Just one more video, if you don't mind.
No,
Mm.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
go
sure we
ahead,
would
go
love
ahead,
to
for
see
sure,
it.
man.
Yeah.
We're learning so
Yeah.
much,
I
man.
love I love
yeah.
resin art. I bought some
Yeah, so
resin before. I made a mess.
so this is actually he calls it 3D resin hyperrealism.
You can
Yeah.
see this comprises of 35 layers.
Patrick,
So
we
it's a,
can't really hear you. So, do you mind repeating again? Yeah.
Okay, this piece comprises of 35 layers.
Oh, wow.
35 layers, which
Mm.
each piece will weigh about 25 kilograms.
so literally he has to like kind of do a MRI scan, right, of the cross section of the lion, and then paint it layer by layer, and then he pours one layer of resin and he paints the next layer, and it's got that three-dimensional effect. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I love
How
resin art.
so? How do how does someone owning the metaverse NFT, how do they get, like you mentioned, there's discounts, there's free drops for the meta. What are the ways that they can actually connect to you? Obviously they connected to you already, right? Because we are the proud owners of one of the metaverse itself. You get access to your information and things like that.
Yeah.
So the question is, how does owning that NFT actually bring further value for the meta to for your community? I think that's something that I think would be a lot of interest that people would want to know as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so currently, essentially, all we call them members, like MEHBRS, right? Those who believe in Patrick, all members essentially gets at least quarterly, right? Okay, a free mint, of his art
Oh,
every quarter. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's one. So which means that if you are like haven't collected anything before, you don't really know how, every quarter will be there to kind of support you to give you a free mint. So if it's not Patrick's art, then it will be one of the artists that we are supporting. That we feel
Nice.
like the work aligns with our values of like
Mm.
vision. So that's one area. Second is also that we are in our community as well. I mean, we work very closely with Leslie as well, right, to bring our crowd over to his side because I think we onboarded a lot of people who are new to the crypto space. So in our community
Mm,
we give actually a very safe space for them to just
mm,
learn, and for them to be exposed to other artists as well. So what we're doing as well is we recently we also just brought on board, so we know that it's actually quite difficult and challenging sometimes for artists who wants to step into the NFT space, yeah, because they may not have a team that's supporting them. They may not know even how to set up a wallet, and like, wow, OpenSea, contact my wallet to OpenSea, have a, how do I load the collection, and the list goes on, right? Yeah, so what we've done is that for artists that, really high quality, solid artists, right, essentially, that wants to come into this space, who has either faith-based art or like art that, really bring love, joy, and hope, right? Same values, we actually collaborate with them. We can do marketing collab or even artist collab where Patrick will collab with the artists as well. So we are bringing on board, for example, this Marvel comic artist called Andy Tong, yeah, who is actually doing his first Genesis mint with us, yeah. So we supported him in the whole basically like launching his. Oh, he's excited now, yeah. So every single
It's just
piece
a
of art, for
token,
example.
Leslie.
this guy, right?
Thanks for
Oh,
that. Rub
you
that in.
want to see his work,
Just a
Ashok?
token. Yeah, it's just a.
This guy, right? This guy, he draw
She's rubbing
for
that in now. Yeah.
this guy. He draw for Marvel. He draw
Yeah,
for DC.
DC also. Yeah,
And then he, like, for example, the Shang-Chi,
yeah,
Green Lantern,
yeah. It's not drawn by
the
him.
Muscular Street Fighter series are all drawn by him.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, let me share. Okay, since you're so excited, let me share and show you what does his collection look like. Okay.
We've
you're so
got
excited.
alpha leaks today. Yay!
Hey, maybe we can convert you. Okay, can you see this is our website, right? Can you see my website? Can
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys are interested, can hop on our website and take a look. The utility is all mentioned there, right? And
Okay.
obviously I forgot to mention as well. This is a really cute 3D mat, which is going to be free for minters as well, early next year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so if you see the Metaverse collection is in the second tab, which are Metaverse collection. Okay, so this is actually about the project, so you can read this. And then look at this one. This is the collaboration tab, which is where we have Andy Tong's art here. And all members actually get 50% off, before he launched it. And pre-mint as well. I mean pre-launch as well. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, let me just show you the color.
Just
Yeah,
wait,
so this is his art.
Is there a sneak peek somewhere? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is some of his
These
work.
are his work, and then these are the featured collection called Messiah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, really beautiful art pieces. Yeah. Like I think our team is like going to mint up because each one is very limited. There's only 10 pieces of each one. So there's only a total of 100 pieces. So I think it will go really fast. And members actually all get 50% off. Yeah.
Yay!
So you have 3 days to do it.
I have the token. I bought the token, so yes, I get
Yes,
So
and I do think that Andy's collection, this is his very first collection. He will be launching more things next year. So I think this is going to be a really good buy. I feel, yeah.
Lily, so I just want to point out something. You mentioned something very important because whenever I talk to projects, right, they always have this false notion, like, oh, I'm an artist, and it's easily for me to do an NFT. What's in it for me, basically? If I were to come and help, or be on board with you to run this on the crypto side of things. You mentioned marketing, right? Yeah. So is that the most essential thing when it comes to launching your own NFT?
I think it's both. Like if you ask me to market a product that's like crappy, it's also hard. So I need to first assume that the product is great, so that our marketing is half done, right? Yeah. So like Andy's song, right? It's so easy for us, right? Andy's work, I don't really have to shout because I don't believe in building hype. I really believe, right, in promoting quality projects and quality art. I think that's for us lah. That's our belief. And I think we also, if you realize that we are quite conservative a lot of times about sharing our plans into our community, why do we do that? Is because we really don't want to create that culture of hype, but and not being able to deliver. So what I think is very important is that when we say something, we're almost confident that we can deliver. Then I'll release the news. Yeah. So for example, we haven't really mentioned this, but we are pretty sure we are going to be doing it. Pretty sure. So you'll be the first to kind of hear it. Okay. But we are already, which is really looking at building virtual galleries, in metaverses. Yeah. So it's really it's not something new, as in that we're just extending what's physical. We already run a physical gallery. But what we want to do is to put it into a virtual gallery. So just imagine, right? In my virtual gallery, I could have one floor for my members, right? Who free for them that they can display their art there. Other people have to rent it, but members are free. Then you can bring your friends there to take a look. Maybe sandbox.
I don't know why. I don't know why it took us so long to get to know each other and go and have to have this conversation before even moving on. But oh my gosh, I'm having a lot of ideas now, Lily. So
very good. Please share with us.
Okay, stay on after this call. We used to give out free ideas but no. Okay, so yes, I hear you in terms of promising too early and things like that. I mean, obviously I wear another hat which is for Dream Squares. Obviously, you guys know by now that I'm the co-founder we try not to overpromise and
Yeah.
you know, deliver whenever, you know, when you deliver, people get excited, right? You know,
Yeah.
and like just now when you tell me about Andy Tong, I was like, oh gosh, Marvel, you know, that's already I've been, you know, I'm a comics collector myself, so I know who he is. So
Oh,
I'm like, okay,
wow.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it resonates lah, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really cool, interesting.
Just a
Adele, you
few
have
from me.
anything?
Yes. Okay, I do have 3 questions for you guys. I'm watching, so we have 15 minutes, so I'm gonna try and squeeze all my questions in. First one is out of curiosity. I would like to hear you guys talk about your community. What is your community like? How would you describe your community members? Is it very intimate? Are they mostly people that you already know? What's the demographic? Are they from all over the world? Are they really art people, or are they just like crypto people, or good mix? So many questions.
Okay, I think we have most of the people actually okay. I would say they are pretty mixed. Like for example, the demographic Singapore only comprises of 15% of our community. Yeah, quite interesting. But
15% only. Wow.
yes, one
Okay.
five. And then like example, Philippines, Indonesia, similar to Singapore. So the rest are all from everywhere. But
wow.
I think that the people who minted be the medals, there are quite a fair bit of them are actually already my art buyer.
Mm.
Because I'm already running a art gallery, so there's already a pretty
Following,
a big group of following which believe in the art, and they see to them it's like, okay, wow, this is a new thing, and I want to come in and support, and at the same time, of course, to enjoy the benefit of the utilities.
Yeah.
So that's why they came on board, and there are another big group of them, and another group of them they have no clue about what is NFT. So we have to give them an education process.
Yeah. So some of our customers literally we had to have a Zoom session, right? And we had to show them how to set up the wallet, go buy Ethereum, and so on. Yeah. So we provided the support for them as well. Because I feel like I think for us, one of the other vision, I mean, in a way that we have, right, is to onboard people into this space, because I think it's really intimidating. And if you could onboard them, via art, something that they're familiar, then why not, So we've got friends who are so grateful to us. I mean, they're funny, like, they onboard, right, and then they're like, wow, this is my first NFT, and then they get so excited. They can show off to their kids, to tell their kids that, look, Papa is so cool, right? I've got NFT, And I was like, yeah, connect with your kids, man. That's the way to go.
A lot. Actually, our buyer on our side, the demographics are, I would say, more adult based. Yeah, they are not some of the NFT whereby there's a lot of young people are flipping it. Yeah.
So it was. Can I tell you a joke? This is really funny. One joke was that we've been launched for close to, I think, one month, about a month, right? About a month, yeah. And basically nobody's selling. Yeah, so there was someone that went to ask this guy and said, like, I think this project is is a scam. Yeah. Then he's like, why? What's a scam? It's like, there's nobody selling. So I think we kind of like created like this new thing, we're all laughing, I mean, we didn't sell out,
Yeah, because there's no floor price. It's because no one is selling.
Somebody put it up, but like a ridiculously high price, so obviously nobody buy, right? Because they can still make,
Interestingly enough, if you're saying that nobody's selling, that means you kind of breach the it's a success story already, basically, because the people only shows how much people believe in the project itself.
Yeah, so this to me shows the strength of the utility, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Purpose of this. Yeah.
I mean, people don't realize it from a crypto standpoint of view. If a crypto guys, you ask them, you say, I want to buy Meh token now, or sorry, not token. I'm like, sorry guys, sorry.
You want a Meh token, is it?
Oh, sorry, that came out wrong. I'm sorry, man, guys. I mean, if they want to buy from someone, right, let's assume somebody wants to buy from me. I will say no, honestly, because that's something that's very precious. I only got one. Excuse me, I didn't even buy a lot. That's the thing. And you guys limited. I think one person could only buy 2 or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. So so what's there? What you can't if you flip it, that's it. You got to buy it at a higher price.
Which brings me to my. Sorry, Lily, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yes.
Which brings me to my second question, but let's remember I have 3. choke first. My second question is then for someone like me who is not in yet and wants to, get into your community. Are there any more mints? What are the plans
Yeah,
for
we are
future
only
buyers?
about yeah, we currently haven't minted out yet, So essentially we've given a plan to our members, right? That we're looking at probably selling it all the way either until end December or max end January. Okay, and then we might lock it up. Okay. So once we lock it up, that means we will not be selling it. We'll let the project run, with the full-fledged benefits and everything. And possibly after the next opening will be 3 months later. And in between, if anybody wants to buy, they have to buy off the open market. So this is one thought that we may be having, with one strategy that we might, employ now going forward, so that we really want to limit this, because Patrick's heart is this now, people who really support him and believe in him, he wants to give the maximum utility to this group of people, and that means like new artists that will bring on board, new collabs, and things like that, they will get those benefits first. Yeah. And actually every month we have a mayor party as well, and last month, so on the 22nd, we have a mayor party and we give away prizes at least like US $500, for the raffle draw. And right now there's like not many people inside there. So last month we actually gave away one NFT. So that's this NFT project that we like a lot, and we're very close to this community, the alpaca community. So what we did was that we gave away one of the alpacas, and I think it's probably worth now is like um 0.18, 0.2, probably about there already. Yeah, so it's way beyond the $500 value that I promised lah. Yeah, because it's been like
Wow.
going up.
I love the
Yeah.
fact that
So
I love the fact that when they talk about the price, right, it's 0.18, 0.1, 0.3. They don't tell you say it's actually $100 or $200 or $2,000 or $3,000.
yeah.
This is the crypto language that you guys are already immersed in.
They're in.
For-
They're
for
not.
the
They're
newbies.
solid.
So I need
Like,
to
yeah,
clarify this. The newbies, they need to know that when like Lily says 0.18, it's ETH that she's talking about, not not in
Oh right, I'm
0.18.
sorry.
See how you get so into the space, right?
Yeah.
We tend to forget,
no, but I mean, this is what I
for the
love
newbies,
about.
yeah.
This is what I really appreciate about the both of you, because you're true artists, right? You fully embracing the power of blockchain to basically distribute art. I think this is like classic. While in NFT classes that DeFi does, this is like a very, very good example of a proper art project. Which brings now my third and last question. How would other creators? What kind of asking for a friend? Other creators, how would they be able to work with you guys? Are you open to collaborating, and what are the collaborations
Yeah.
that
Yeah. So what we have in our Discord community, we have actually we ask them to join our community first, and then we actually have a channel that says for artist collaboration or like artist questions. So there are some people already like started dropping us questions in there. We will answer them, because some of them they just actually ask for advice, sometimes, or like just like we recently spoke to someone who wanted to talk to us about music NFT, and we're like, okay, we can talk, but like we're not really like that familiar, Yeah, but we still like got on a call with him and shared with him our experience, and all that. Yeah, but I think for artists it's more if they're interested, just drop us, in there, talk to us, and then we can always like have a call and chat and see whether the direction is, in a way matches, and if it doesn't, or I mean, to us it's not just about money, it's about really helping one another, so if it makes sense for you to sell it directly. I mean, there was one artist that came to us, right, and asked like, how do we do it and so on. And I told them, I said that there's no shortcut, to this process. If you are currently not an artist out there marketing yourself, it's really hard for you to think that, oh, I'll come to this NFT and boom, I will explode, It doesn't really
Yeah.
quite work that way. Yeah, yeah.
Words of wisdom, man. I mean, I have had a lot
Yeah.
of people who came to me and they say, Leslie, can you please help me to NFT my art pieces? And then when I go
Yeah.
into that whole notion of explaining the business process to them, I mean, I am a blockchain consultant for a reason, right? So then when they come and ask me for it, I'm like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this. I say, oh, you mean there's so much work to be done? I say,
Yes.
yeah, well, drawing the art is just one aspect of it. It's maybe only 50% of the work. There is still another
Yeah.
50% that needs to be done. Yeah. So, wow, words of wisdom, and Lily, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's
Is it-
precious. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Adele. Yeah, we are definitely open. Yeah, so like Andy is one artist, who's a dear friend, And because I know of his caliber of work, and so we just happened to chat, and then he went like he's thinking about NFT space, and I said, is anybody helping you? And he went like, oh, I've been thinking about it for 6 months, but like, it's so mind-boggling. It's like, he's got to work, he's got to do his comics, and it's like, how am I going to launch, and I told him, said like, if you want, then obviously why don't we work out something, right? And this is more marketing collab, yeah, because he didn't have time to do a full collab with Pat, but both of them are really excited. Maybe next year, maybe. Like I said, I'm not going to promise anything, but we are talking lah. Imagine like a full collab between the two of them. That'll be like great, And of course,
Yeah.
members will usually get benefits again, like I say.
I hear
Okay.
I hear the artist to artist collaborations, but then in the space now where mixed media is so in the digital space, mixed media is so possible. So earlier you said music. Yeah, I just wanted to see how open you guys were to other forms of art coming together and
Oh, we
finding
are
ways.
really open. Yeah. Like, I mean, we've collaborated with artists who've written songs on his art piece as well. Yeah. And we've done like kind of like music videos on videos. So there are two songs that's actually written based on his art piece. So we have composers, and then we actually support the artist to record the song. We paid for it as well, things
Wow.
like that. So yeah. So I think our heart is always to help young talents, to kind of bridge and go into a new space. Yeah. So that's really something that we want to I mean, crypto is so inclusive, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like, with the art community we can be like that as well. We can
Yeah.
really share. I mean, it's you don't have to say like, oh, this is my charity, this is yours,
Yeah.
and this is whatever,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
help one another. And then we onboard basically new people, right now, which is what I'm seeing right now, like people who never used to be able to step into the fine art space because I just don't have walls to hang my painting. I don't have my own house. Like, why would I buy like 10 paintings? Who am I going to keep them, right? But now we're seeing the onboarding, right, of a whole new generation, and educating them that it's not just a token, Leslie, right? But it's a
I'm gonna show you what Jose. This is what Jose actually said. Yeah, shit. That's hilarious. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we believe in win-win lah.
Yeah.
I think the most important is we believe in win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So
think
that's
it's-
where when
Sorry.
we play win-win, everyone wins. That's all.
Patrick is so open to collaborating anybody. He's actually thinking about talking to this insect lover, right? Okay, to look at some insect patterns, right? To let the insect trace things, and I don't know what he's thinking about right now. Yeah, so he's completely open. He's a creative.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Well, not just because I've been trying to work on something for a long time, but also because
Right.
I think you guys are perfect, mentors or people to have in this space. Your heart's in the right, your work is in the right place. Your strategies are all. I think you guys would make awesome mentors for this space. So that's why.
Right. Thank you
You
so
guys are
much.
visionaries, man. I mean, it's just amazing how how you guys have really mapped out and planned out for certain things.
Yeah.
With regards to the the longevity of the project itself. Yeah, we're actually coming close to the end of the session. So any last words before I close off with a disclaimer? I have to do disclaimers, guys. I'm sorry. It's yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was really not easy for us at the beginning because we were going against the grain of everything. So imagine we were planning for the project was September, October, and that was like the height of like PFP projects,
Yeah.
and even trying to decide how many edition, right? Okay, we had a hard
Mm.
time, because
Mhm.
we really don't know. Is it 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, right? And is it 0.05, 0.08, 0.22, 0.15? And the permutations, right? And then all we did was, I mean, you won't believe how we decided, right? We kind of like had our team together, everybody wrote one number and then we like flipped it up, right? And then the two numbers that coincided was me and Patrick's number, which was like 2222 S.22 or something like that, right? And then we're like, okay, guys, only two of us are, coincided. They were like, okay, that's it, like, and then after that, along the way, right, it was really tough because a lot of people who are more known in the space than us said that, kept telling us that, guys, you are running a suicide mission lah, basically you're not going to sell out, you're not going to sell out, you're not going to sell out. And we had to really sit down and really talk it through and say that it's selling out, right? Basically our vision and our objectives, right?
Mm.
Or are we talking about shifting culture to make this a long-term thing? We're here for the long run, and that's why we are totally dogs, people can talk to us, we have a gallery, you can walk up right next to us, yeah. And I think that I think just a last word for anybody who's visionary, who's trying to change something in a new space, you're going to face up to a lot of experts, a lot of naysayers, a lot of whatever, but I think the key thing is to stick to your conviction, right? And to adjust your plans, of course. Listen, you take in all the advice, but ultimately you're the one responsible for what you want to achieve, right? And with that, it's really sticking to your conviction, and then adjusting your plans, and sticking it out and making sure, that you deliver what you promise. Yeah. So that's for me. Yeah.
No, I think she explained everything. Very good.
He just wants to get back to his painting. He's still like drawing and drawing and drawing.
I'm sure he's inspired. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of sums up for the session, guys. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands today's session. We had the privilege of having Patrick and Lilly, from Singapore itself. Showing their local, talents and their, art, that Patrick has been doing, and the project that they're on, the NFT project, is actually more like, kind of a, I would say, a country club membership. I would say more exclusive. I would say that, yeah. So just to help them a bit, but and this is not a paid advertisement. Yeah, just so everyone knows. And if you're dabbling into cryptocurrencies and NFTs, obviously everyone needs to do their own due diligence. And it's a convergence of different industries coming together. Right, everyone needs to understand how crypto works in the first place. So I'm going to slide this in. Yeah, if you guys don't know, come for my class. I have never done this on YouTube for 1 year. I've never done this before. So yeah, come for my class. You guys will understand the risks involved. Of owning an NFTs. They have already expressed it in terms of how owning the NFTs in their project gives you the benefits for certain things. So on that note, I just want to wish everyone a very good midweek. Night itself. Patrick and Lilly, thank you for joining us all the way from Australia. I hope you guys, Patrick, I hope you get more inspired, with the birds and.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks, Adele. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Leslie. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Lilly. I've been waiting to speak to a project like this where we really see crypto as a
You guys can stay on. You guys can
distribution model.
Yeah, just stay on. All right. I'll see you guys in a short while. Yeah.
We can talk more. Just be back. Yeah. Get our number from Leslie. Yeah. Can talk more. Yeah.
Cool.